Hi, I'm Sovereign Syre, a writer, a comedian, and a cancer on the internet. If you've been on social media at all these days, you know that the world is comprised of two people, Nazis and communists. Now, these Nazis and communists go by different labels: left-wing, right-wing, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal. But what do they actually mean? I don't know. So I have gathered together for you the definitions of all the different labels on the political spectrum in the United States, and I'm going to do it for you in under 10 minutes. And so you don't get bored, I'm going to provide you with something interesting to watch on the side while I talk at you. Today, we're going on a journey through America's favorite fever dream, the political spectrum. Did you know that being on the left, being a Democrat, being a socialist, being liberal, being left-wing are all different things? Because I didn't. American politics is kind of like playing Monopoly while you're drunk. Everyone thinks they're winning until you realize the bank has taken all of your rent money and bought a yacht and named it after your firstborn child. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand on the American political spectrum, which will probably be curled in the fetal position and crying. Leftists are the one who want to burn it all to the ground. They come full circle with the right. They don't want to redistribute wealth and property. They want to abolish it altogether. No more yachts for Jeff Bezos, no more frappuccinos for Karen. Sorry, Karen. You're gonna have to learn to love worker co-op brewed coffee served out of a mason jar. And yes, it does taste like sadness and moral superiority. Leftists dream of a world where everyone shares resources, power, and Instagram passwords equally. They usually think liberals are a bunch of sellout posers and they'd rather get in a fistfight with a cop than vote for a corporate Democrat. You know you're talking to a leftist when their favorite date night activities include sitting around talking about Marxist philosophy over cheap beer and then berating you for wearing Nikes. It's foreplay for them. Socialists are like leftists, but with fewer Molotov cocktails and more PowerPoint presentations. Think of them as leftist vegans, still hardcore, but they'll settle for quinoa instead of overthrowing capitalism if everyone gets free healthcare. Socialists believe the government should actually do stuff for people. You know, like universal healthcare, a free education, maybe even a livable wage. Crazy. I know. They also believe that billionaires shouldn't exist, not out of jealousy or some kind of eat the rich manifesto, but rather because they just don't think billionaires need to exist at all. In what world should you ever need $44 billion or to go to sleep at night on a bed made of endangered panda pelts? Socialists think liberals lack a spine and conservatives lack a soul. They're basically that one friend at brunch who can't stop talking about how fucked the system is and still manages to get drunk on craft cocktails and leave a 20% tip. Now, liberals are like that couple in a bad marriage that thinks somehow marriage counseling is gonna fix it. They believe in progress, but like really slow, incremental progress that no one notices. The kind that's just fast enough for them to feel moral superiority, but slow enough to not interfere with their 401k. Let the kids figure that one out. They're all about equality as long as it doesn't impact their Whole Foods shopping cart privileges. Sure, they'll chant defund the police, but the minute Karen's BMW gets keyed, she's calling 911 faster than you could say check your privilege. Liberals also have a special talent for guilt, the kind that makes you write a long essay on Facebook about how much you enjoy pumpkin spice lattes, but you do understand they are cultural appropriation. Calm down, Karen. No one's coming for your lattes. Yet. The Democratic Party is kind of like if a retirement home was somehow running the country. Their whole vibe is, hey, at least we're not as bad as the other guy, which is a hell of a campaign slogan. They're basically political boomers that think every problem can be solved with a bipartisan handshake and a pat on the back. These folks are experts at disappointing their own base. They talk a big game about climate change and social justice, but then spend 6 months debating whether they should tax Jeff Bezos 1% on his billions or 1.1%. It's like watching a turtle race, but somehow sadder. If Democrats were a sex position, they'd be missionary with socks on and lights out. Predictable, safe, disappointing. You've got the Republicans, the party of God, guns, deregulated everything, and healthcare for my gun. Their philosophy is simple. The government is evil, unless it's telling women what to do with their bodies or telling people what they can and can't read. They believe in trickle-down economics, which is the idea that if you give the rich enough tax breaks, they might drop a few crumbs down to us plebes. They won't. Now, trickle-down economics has never worked, and they keep on trying it. I, too, once used to believe in the tooth fairy. Republicans will ramble on about how things were better in the good old days. You know, when segregation existed, while pounding Coors Light in front of a poster of Donald Trump painted to look like Rambo. Conservatives believe if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and if it is broke, it's because of immigrants. They're obsessed with preserving tradition, which usually means keeping minorities, women, and poor people where they belong. They're like that guy on Tinder whose bio says traditional values, but what he really means is he's mad that women won't date him because when he gets them back to his mom's basement, they think he has too many Confederate flags hanging on the wall. Right-wing extremists are like conservative Republicans on steroids. Usually there's an element of Christo-fascist nationalism in there too. Think of Tucker Carlson's Utopia when he gets done doing ayahuasca. They're obsessed with culture wars and conspiracy theories. And let's be honest, who isn't? They are fun. They basically think the government is run by evil lizard people who are trying to make your kids gay by teaching them empathy. They're basically one gun-toting, camo-wearing patriot away from starting an apocalyptic cult. And some would say, checkmate. Then you have libertarians. Look, a libertarian is the political equivalent of a guy who thinks he's radical for suggesting anarchy at a corporate meeting. They believe in maximum freedom for themselves. Like if your house catches fire, tough luck, that's a free market issue. They hate taxes, regulation, and anything that smells like socialism. And at the same time, they're cool with billionaires having all the power. Because, Elon Musk is going to save us with space utopias when climate change turns the Earth into a sauna that does nothing but radiate cancer. And yes, libertarians will gladly die on the hill of the government shouldn't tell me what to do with my body while completely ignoring women's reproductive rights. Hypocrisy, I've never heard of her. And there you have it. The political spectrum in the United States is a clusterfuck of ideologies, each one thinking that the other one is going to ruin the world. It's like a dinner party where everyone gets drunk because someone spiked a punch and now they're all fighting each other with stupid talking points over the last drumstick of democracy. And no matter where you fall on the political spectrum, someone absolutely thinks you're a jackass, and they're probably right. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll be back next week to explain what the hell an oligarchy is.